This is your one and only 𝐈𝐸𝐻81 with your daily dose of video goodness, and welcome back to another Valheim video. The 𝐈𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐵 team just recently posted a blog talking about the next update coming to Valheim, as well as sharing some teasers. And today we're going to take a look at it and talk about it. Let's get to it. So the post starts off with them explaining why they haven't put out any updates or talked about anything in some time, and basically they just felt they didn't have anything to talk about other than Mistlands, and they were releasing Mistlands, so they just kind of went radio silent for a bit. But now the Mistlands is out, they have stuff to talk about. Then they gave everybody a heartfelt thank you for all of the support for Mistlands, taking part in the public test phase, giving feedback, all of that good stuff. They say thank you to everyone. Now let's get to the good stuff. They state, our next big biome update is going to be Ashlands, and we have begun with the pre-production of that biome by creating some concept art and trying to work out the feeling we want the biome to have. Now, before we continue here, I do want to point out that they state that this is pre-production stuff. So for those of you who are unaware of what this means they're in the brainstorming phase. Things could change drastically between now and the time we actually get the Ashlands update. So basically what I'm saying to you is take everything that is said here and everything that is shown here about the Ashlands with a grain of salt. Moving on, they state it will be quite different from what we are all used to, given that the Ashlands is a large chunk of land at the far south of the map rather than small islands spread out over the world. They continue on with, when it comes to development itself, there is something we would like to do very differently this time. With the Mistlands, we were very secretive. This is great for those who want to discover as much as possible for themselves, which is the main reason why we kept so much hidden. But it's also not very transparent. Therefore, our ambition with the development of the Ashlands is to show you a lot more of the process. This will mean you will see things in their early stages, and maybe even things that won't end up making it into the game at all, but you will also hopefully have a better understanding of how far along the development has gotten. We'll be trying this out for the Ashlands development period and see how it goes. And we'd like to start off right away by showing you some enemy concepts. And we'll take a look at those here in a second, but for you to understand those a little bit more, I want to continue reading. As you might be able to guess from these images, our current design vision for the Ashlands is that it's a land of the dead, as well as a place with quite a volcanic nature. We're really looking forward to exploring the concept and finding out where it leads us, and we're excited to have you along for this journey. So I was a bit confused about the statement that they made here where they want the Ashlands to be the land of the dead, because I was under the impression that that was the swamp. That's how the swamp felt to me, was the land of the dead. I mean, you have wraiths there, you have the Draugr there, which are essentially zombies, and you have skeletons. Of course, there's blobs and leeches too, but I mean, you do have to have a little bit of life in there, I would suppose. But that biome itself felt overall like the Deadlands to me. So I reached out to 𝐈𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐵 and asked them for a comment on this. I quoted what they said there about it being the land of the dead, and then I stated I thought that was the swamp. At least that's the overall identity and feeling I get from the swamp. And the person I spoke to stated that the swamp is more of an empire fallen down into marshes, like the halls of the former kings and queens. But once again, keep in mind that this is still very early in development, so like I said, the identity of the Ashlands could change a bit. Now that we got that out of the way, let's take a look at some of this concept art. So first we have the Chard. From the looks of these guys, and considering there are 3 different ones, I would assume that these are probably going to be the most prevalent in the Ashlands. These are going to be your go-to enemies, similar to how we see more Seekers in the Mistlands than we do anything else, more Grey Dwarves in the Dark Forest than we do anything else. You get the idea. I really like the design concept here and kind of like the evolution in the difference of them. You have just the basic one with a long sword, then you have the one with 2 swords, then you have the one which I'm assuming is going to cast magic because it's holding a staff. They look absolutely fierce fierce, and I can't wait to see what they look like once they are actually realized in game. They'll probably look very similar to this, considering that previous concept art we have seen before looks almost identical to how it ended up in game. For example, the mist hair. Next, we have the Morgan or Morgan. I'm not sure how you go about pronouncing that, but it looks awesome. That thing looks crazy. It's got like skulls inside of its mouth, like its face is in its mouth, and it looks vicious. And yeah, that's freaking awesome. Can't wait to see those in game as well. These will probably be something that are more in the kin to the ygħ or the abominations, I would assume, since we only have one. But keep in mind, this is just me theory crafting here, so take all of this with a grain of salt. These things could be large and kind of mini boss style, or heck, they might be small and annoying. I don't know, but they look awesome and I can't wait to find out. Let me know what you think about this concept art down there in the comments section. Are you excited to fight these creatures? Do they look scary to you? You're gonna have nightmares? Are they total nightmare fuel? Let me know what you all think. Now that we've taken a look at those, let's move on with the rest of this blog post. So they state, if you are concerned about the Ashlands taking a long time to develop, you can rest assured that we have some fun things planned for you between then and now. Something that you already know is that Valheim will get an Xbox release early this year. And with the crossplay support, you will be able to play with your console-bound friends. We have also talked about adding some new difficulty settings, and we are working on something which we are calling Hildir's Quest. I guess that's how you pronounce that, Hildir, Hildir. Please correct me down in the comments if you think I'm butchering that name. While the programming and QA folks are busy working out the final bugs of the Mistlands, our artists got creative and designed some brand new clothes for your characters, which became the start of this little update. The clothes might still get further changes, but we think they're looking pretty nice so far. And then they show a picture of some of the clothing options that we will have. Now, what's interesting is since the release of this blog post, they have also commented on Twitter about how many new outfits we will get. It was stated on the official Valheim Twitter that we have 8 new outfits and a bunch of different hats. So we're not only getting the outfits, some of the outfits that you see here, we are also going to get hats, which are not depicted here. So that's exciting. Then they go on to state that Hildir's Quest will also have some other fun things like an additional NPC, the eponymous Hildir herself, and a way for you to restyle your existing character's hair. Don't worry though, an update like this won't be taking any significant time away from development of the Ashlands. Due to the nature of game development, not everyone can work on the same thing at the same time. And working on something like Hildir's Quest will ensure that the Ashlands pre-production can proceed while the team works as efficiently as possible. I kind of find it a little bit sad that in today's modern gaming world, and as connected as we are with developers, that developers still feel like they need to defend themselves when they aren't working on a specific thing that everybody expects them to be working on. It's just kind of sad to me that they feel like they constantly have to defend themselves because people still, for some reason, don't understand that in a development company, it is possible to work on multiple things at one time while you are developing a game. Yes, sure, Mistlands is going to be the big update, but it is also possible for them to add other little updates in the meantime that don't interfere with them developing Mistlands. And this is the same for any game out there. I see this all the time with lots of games, and developers get a lot of hate for this, and it really just needs to stop. Anyway, I digress. They continue on with stating, another thing we want to do in the future is improve the accessibility of the game, and I think this is absolutely fantastic, and I love that they are doing this. I'm a big proponent of accessibility in games. I feel like gaming needs to and should be enjoyed by everyone, regardless of their situation. They go on to state that this is long overdue, but we want to finally add some options so that more people can enjoy Valheim. If you have a disability or any other factor that affects your gaming, you are more than welcome to send us an email and tell us a bit about it and about any solutions you can think of that would improve your experience. I'm going to post this email down in the description of this video. If you have a disability that affects your ability to game and you have a solution to that disability that has been explored in other other games that you have played, by all means, take this opportunity to email them and help them out. They are going to need to hear from people. Don't spam this email. Don't contact this email for other nonsense. This email is specifically for you to contact them if you have a disability. So a good example is if you are colorblind and you have played another game that has colorblind support, contact them, let them know what that game did specifically so that they can help incorporate something like that into their game to help you with your colorblind issues. And that is just one example of the many things that I have seen other games do to help people with disabilities enjoy their game. And other than the build of the month, that is pretty much it for this blog post. So hopefully you found this video helpful and informational. If you did, consider hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload other Valheim content. You can also find some links to some more Valheim content on the screen right now. I want to give an absolute massive shout out and thank you to all of my channel supporters for helping to keep these videos sponsor free. You all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to become an official channel supporter, check out the links in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and share your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.